What up, y'all? Good morning. Everybody's blessed. Yo,
What's
partner,
happening with you, bro?
what's up, man? How you feeling, man?
What's going on?
You know,
Man, you
just
you had some pretty valid frustrations early this morning, man.
I woke up, called Tip immediately. Sometimes I feel like we get hit with the okey doke. So I did some research on these black screens that have been going out,
hmm
and this originated in the music industry. Started off as a blackout in the music industry to fight for rights and for all music industry employees to not go to work today, stand in solidarity. It kind of took legs. A lot of people have been posting it, and now it's turned into a full-fledged blackout. We've seen it on everybody's page now. A lot of confusion over whether to post, Black Lives Matter, Blackout Tuesday, a lot of different confusion happening there. So then we found out, a lot of us found out that there's an election today. There's a primary election today taking place in some key states with some key, legislation that could take place. So, the whole thing is just, it's become this frustration for a lot of us because we all want information. We all want to get the right information out to people. We all want to make sure that when we're driving traffic and we're leading people in the right place, that we're doing it correctly, especially for you and me as entertainers and people with influencers and followers. We want to make sure that when we post something is correct. And part of the frustration that we all experience is that there's so many different pockets of information that's happening right now that, it gets a little convoluted sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I think what we're experiencing is we have a very broad, diverse set of issues that we dealing with. It's not just one thing, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? There's a educational disparity, there's an economical disparity, and of course, the police brutality that we all deal with, being born a certain shade of brown. So with a multi-layered problem, you have to have a multi-layered approach to a solution. So that's why so many different things. However, we got to remain focused on whatever our initiatives are, whatever primarily, like right now, voting, that's important for the primaries and all, but we can't take light away from the other things that we still have to focus on.
Not at all, man. You said something interesting this morning when we were talking offline about just how generationally things have happened. I've been just doing a lot of studying on how we got here, the 400 years of slavery, the Emancipation Proclamation, how we stayed in bondage in many different ways, how that, years later, civil rights movement, Martin and Malcolm, and how the same exact things that Martin and Malcolm were upset about in the 60s are what we're facing today still, right?
Yeah,
What has happened over the last 40, 50 years on why we haven't progressed? Well, a lot of us, especially people like you and I, we've entertainment industry. We've been trying to work, right? We've been trying to make up for the economic
sure.
disparity, trying to help with, and now when these things happen, you and I for the past 15 years have been going to marches together. You know what I'm saying? How many
Sure,
times have I seen you at these different rallies? From
sure.
Trayvon Martin to Eric Gar, like this happens all the time, and every time it happens, and we see this, and it gets worse and worse. It's like, where is our game plan? Why do we not have an agenda? And I think moving forward, whatever happens with this is it's going to be our responsibility to like influence that agenda. Like we have to have some level of organization moving forward because this shit just keeps on happening.
Yeah, I mean, I think what we were talking about earlier is, why we're not necessarily prepared right now. I said it was because we were distracted with business. We were distracted with our careers and, just, popping bottles in the club, having a good time. You know what I'm saying? We were curating our culture. You dig what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And other people who had more of a malicious intent. They were planning and plotting.
100.
You know what I'm saying? We didn't have any malicious intent. We didn't have any reason to want to wage war against, you know what I'm saying? Well, we had reason, we had justification, but we just wasn't on that, right? So people were planning and strategizing a war against us back before we even knew it was a war going on. So that's why we're not prepared. Dig what I'm saying?
100%.
I think, you know what I'm saying, a lot of us, you know what I'm saying, a lot of us, myself included, you know, we've been spoiled with our luxuries. You dig what I'm saying? And it's easy to fall back and, you know what I'm saying, not really be focused on the things that you need to be focused on all the times that you need to be focused on them when you have so many luxurious distractions around you. You know what I mean? And not to mention, you know, social media don't make it no easier. You know what I'm saying? You can easily get caught in gossip. You get caught in lust. You get caught in all kinds of shit to just take your eyes off of the goal, which is, you know what I'm saying, the liberation of our people as a culture, as a generation. And I don't think, you know, people right now today, I don't see a race war. You know what I'm saying? I don't see a race war, bro. I see a war between decent and indecent people. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Between fair people and race and racists, fascists, racist, white supremacists. You dig what I'm saying? And ultimately, this is. I know we don't have the strategy yet. I know we don't have the artillery, the training, but I'm gonna tell y'all what. In this war, regardless of what the other side got, God is only gonna fight with one of us.
1,000,000%.
You
And
dig
we
what
are,
I'm saying?
and
God
that's
only
gonna be
gonna
the
fight with
side
one of us.
of just, you know.
So
I spent during the Obama administration, I spent a lot of time there, right? We were working on programs for education. We were working on programs for exercising, obesity problems in America, health issues. I never, during my time there, was thinking that, you know, there was we took our foot off the gas. I was unfocused on the fact that a war was going to be waged at us again, right? We kind of all got distracted, like you said, by the luxuries of life, by trying to progress as a people, and we completely missed the boat on the fact that they were planning and they're completely organized, and we're not. And I think now is really the time for us to utilize this moment to mobilize, to get together, to prioritize what's important, and to really set an agenda on what needs to happen next moving forward, man.
I think that's gonna all come in time. I think as long as you got people like you and I'm out here. You know, I just got off the phone with Mustafa and the minister, and awaiting their insight and direction. You know what I'm saying? We just constantly. I know you out in LA, man, surrounding yourself with people who can inform you and educate you on how to take the next steps forward. But shit, bro, as long as we care, as long as we continue to work diligently, man, and try to answer the questions that we don't have the answer to right now, it's gonna come. It's
It's
gonna
gonna
come.
come. And that's, you know, that's what I also tell people is like we're making up for a lot of years of oppression. We're making up for a lot of years of misinformation. We're making up for a lot of years of not having books and not having, you know, the proper tools to act out. And so when we see all the disparities that are happening now, we're dealing with 400 years of backstory that led us to where we are today, man. So like you said, man, we care. We're on it. For everybody that's out there that posted the black screen today, you know, it seemed like a positive thing. Some people were saying it's negative. Like, I think right now it's two sides to this war, like you said. It's the decent and the indecent. And those with a moral fortitude and those without it. And it's like over time we're gonna get to where we need to be. But right now, uniting, standing together, that's what's really important right now.
That's real. Hey, I mean, I think there's a collective effort. Everybody has a place and a purpose in this shit. You know what I mean? If everybody does a little bit, nobody has to do a lot. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna just continue to try and do my part and support everybody else around me just doing their part.
Yep. All right, love it, man. And somebody just posted, why is a black square wrong? We're not saying a black square is wrong, so don't get that twisted. What we're saying is today is a primary vote day, and for a lot of us, we didn't have that information this morning. I didn't know about it. And now we want to make sure that people know how important it is if you're in one of those states to vote as well. So it's
I'm gonna
not
put it
that,
in my story.
yeah, we're gonna put that in our stories as
all the
well.
states that's voting today in my story.
Exactly. So part of what we're saying right now is just we got to keep communicating and get the information to each other. Tip, I love you. Get on about your day. I'll call you later, bro.
Already. Love and respect, bro.
Love, bro. And again, if you just tuned in, we woke up this morning and all felt a little weird. Last night we saw the hashtag go out about, you know, putting up the black screen, the solidarity. Why do I think that's important? I think it is important for all people to stand together as one. It's very important. So when I saw people that haven't posted, you know, Black Lives Matter or anything for the first time, I was like, okay, that's a good thing. When I woke up this morning, people was like, oh no, take off the Black Lives hashtag. Put on Blackout Tuesday as the hashtag because we're only focusing on that. And it led to a lot of confusion. There was a lot of group chats on what are we doing. Then we found out the information that there's a big primary vote happening today in multiple states. So then we said, hold on. Was this all a distraction from the fact that we should be mobilizing people to get out there and vote? Are we posting black screens when we should be posting to go out there and vote? Either way, it feels like right now, it was a lot of miscommunication this morning. So again, we just wanted to jump on and say, look, if you're in one of those states, I'm going to post it on my stories. Make sure that you go out there and vote in those primaries. The way that we're going to be heard and the way that we're really going to hit them is by voting. We have to make sure that we have people in power. All of it is a trickle-down effect. It does not just come down to the President of the United States. We need to have the right governors in place. We need to have the right mayors in place. They're the ones that are going to appoint and hire in certain states the attorney generals. They're going to put the district attorneys in there. We got to put the right people in office. The chief of police, very important positions. We got to have the right people because it's all a trickle-down effect. So again, if you want to post the black screen, I stand with you in solidarity on that. But also make sure, put in your stories or tell people they got to exercise the right to vote. Part of why we are not getting respected is because they don't feel like we're the ones putting them in power. We're not the ones that are out there voting. We have too much disconnection and we say too many times that voting doesn't matter. We hold the vote hostage. We're staying at home. That makes no sense. We have to fight. We have to vote. We have to put the right people in office. I'm out here protesting. I'm in the streets. I'm marching. I'm doing all of that. I've been doing it for 15, 20 years. But we have to vote. Voting is at the top of that list because if we don't put the right people in power, decisions are not going to go in our favor. I love y'all. Have a blessed day. If you are going to a protest, remember the way to do that is by being peaceful. They want us to look crazy. They're sending Asian provocateurs out there to try to get us upset and try to get us pissed off. So make sure if you go out there, the looting doesn't help that agenda. But make sure your voice is heard. Keep on posting on social media. I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. Stay blessed.